Okay. And hello, everyone, and welcome to Get a Grip with Coach Helix. I'm your host, Coach Helix, and with me, my amazing co host.
Stephen Frederick Masek is here.
Yes. Stephen, the
Yes,
medium,
yes, yes,
Stephen,
yes,
my
yes.
husband, Stephen, my better half. And I can go on and on and on and on. So happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, Stephen. How are you?
I'm excellent. I am really good.
You are. We
Yes,
are.
really, really good.
Stephen, today we are about to have an awesome show because it really is a powerful, it's a simple conversation, but it is powerful. Have you ever been introduced to yourself? And this is a question that you thought we should be asking all of our listeners. So we're going to be asking you, have you ever been introduced to yourself? So that is a thought provoking question. Sit with it because Stephen and I are going to do a little chit chat and get caught up, but we're going to get back to that question in a few minutes. So let's talk about you. Let's talk about us. Let's talk about what's going on, Stephen.
Me? You want to talk about me? Oh,
Yeah,
really?
that's really hard for if you know Steven talking about himself, it's very uncomfortable. He barely
Sure.
likes people to talk about him. So let's play with getting comfortable with that discomfort. Yeah, tell us people
listen,
what are you up to?
you know when you get into that place that it's a really good place. Like you have a lot of stuff going on, and I don't know, you just kind of sit back and you take it in for a moment and realize that there is a lot to go forward with, but yet it's all stuff that is so connected to your journey and your path and where you're going that you love it. And sometimes I just think it's good just to sit for a second. Everyone just keeps going and going and going, and it's nice just to sit and take a couple of minutes just to think about where you are and what you have to be grateful for. I just this morning posted something about me and Django, and I know, I think you saw it, Elix, that
Of course.
Django's our dog, and I was bringing him in yesterday, and I had shorts on, and my phone was in my shorts, but as I was carrying Django, the phone was like sort of pulling my shorts down, so I couldn't tie him because I had Django in my arm, and I pulled the phone out to hold it so that my shorts wouldn't fall off and wouldn't give the 93-year-old woman across the pond a big, thrill, maybe. In any case, what? No laughter, Felix? Nothing. I got nothing. I need a new audience.
I'm laughing inside, and
I
I
need a
know
new
Dave.
audience.
I know Dave, our producer, just muted himself because he's laughing hysterical.
Yeah,
Go
either
ahead.
that or he's like, I don't want to hear Steven anymore. So by accident, I took a picture. I snapped a picture. I don't know how I did that. And then, I don't know, last night, I just happened to go through my photos. I'm like, when did I do this? And it just captures like me and Django, like most of my face and all of Django as we're walking from like a below angle. And I posted that, like, this is one of my favorite pictures. Are you eating, Elix, or is this Dave?
No, that's Dave breathing heavy again. So
Dave, just to let
It's
you know,
just
we
you-
can hear
just you-
we can hear you.
I think it's just you and I. So he does it on purpose. He just wants
He does.
to get us
like
all
he's at the
going.
movies and
Yeah,
just
he's-
starting to eat popcorn, and we can hear him.
Yeah, he's upset because we talked during his last,
Yeah, his
pop
advertisement.
PSA. So just saying. So, but move along. I'm
So
used
in
to the heavy breathing
from who?
from Dave.
I'm just checking. In any case, I just posted that it's one of my. It's just I looked at it and I thought, oh my God, it captures one of my favorite moments. That a moment that's not exciting. The picture is nothing. It just captures that I pick Django up, and I don't have to, but I do just because I love him, and I'm bringing him in. From walking from the backyard into to get to the back door. As I'm walking on the deck and whatnot, I'm holding him, and I'm always like kissing him as I'm walking in, and that connection just in that little time period is just so meaningful to me. And I also know that he feels so protected. I got my arms around him, and I just posted something about how that's all we're looking for, right? Every one of us is just looking for connection. And you get that by just sitting back, and it's a great thing.
I wish you picked me up and carry me like that. Maybe we should recreate a picture that way.
Oh,
By the
really?
way, I did not realize that that was an accident, an accidental picture. I actually thought that you posed, and I loved it. I thought it was just so freaking cute, the two of you.
No,
Yeah.
no,
So
not at all.
that's a beautiful thing. And by the way, let's clarify something. When you say I don't have to pick him up, yeah, you know, in your mind, he cannot walk. He should be taken everywhere. He treats him
Really?
like a little baby. Yes. So
He is my baby.
he is your baby. So
And he looks at me like, I'm like, all right, let's go in, and he looks at me like,
pick me up.
Daddy, you gonna pick me up?
Well, of course, by now he knows that you're psycho like that. So he's like, okay, Daddy, pick me up the way you always do. So
Well,
it's a beautiful thing, nevertheless.
of course it is.
Yeah,
It
of
is a
course.
great thing.
It's one of those qualities. I mean, I do talk about this as much as I sometimes poke fun of you're crazy. That's one of the qualities that I so love so much about you. How much you are your love for Mother Nature and animals. It's just really beautiful.
I get that. I get that from my grandpa, my grandfather Frederick, who
He
my
said,
middle
"What did
name's-
he say? What did he say? Let's upset,
Oh, I've said this many times,
Yes,
and
say
with
it
no
again.
apologies. Well,
Yeah,
I'm going to.
Why? No,
Like,
you never apologize.
No,
So
no.
let's go for it.
He always, and I never met him. He had died before I was born, but he had 4 daughters, my mom being one of them, and he used to tell the 4 girls, and my cousin Holly, who we will get to see her and my niece Morgan tomorrow, which I'm so excited.
I was gonna ask you. Yes.
Yeah, she knows this. My grandpa Frederick used to tell his girls, if you don't like animals, you're not a good person, and I completely stand by that. And I don't care.
beautiful.
Yeah, I don't care. You don't like animals, you're not a good person. You're not my friend. Just saying. So
I would agree with that. So you talked about Holly coming with Morgan. So we're gonna have a
Yes.
very busy weekend. Last weekend we also had an amazing time with our friends, our newlyweds who just got back from Hawaii, and we went bowling and axe throwing, and you and John became no. John, explain what happened because everyone did quite well because I think it was you and Krista who did outstanding in the axe throwing department, and then you and John did outstanding in the bowling department. Notice the only constant is Elex didn't do outstanding in any department. So
well, listen, it wasn't like you didn't do outstanding. None of us, you, me, and John, have never been axe throwing, and Christmas has. So she already had the technique down pat, which was great. And that was like, listen, we've all went bowling, right? But the axe throwing was something that was pretty wild. I've never done it. As I just mentioned, none of us, the 3 of us had. That was really, really wild. It was very, very wild. And I posted pictures, and there's one picture that I threw the axe and I hit this blue dot. And when I posted it, someone commented saying, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm sure you were targeting or focused on the target in the middle, because the blue dots were at the edge of the big bullseye, targeting the red center dot. But I love how sometimes that's the way life works out. And I just normally don't respond, but I just responded and was like, whoa, no.
He was
No, the blue
focused
dot-
on that
That
blue
blue dot was 8 points. The red center was 5. Listen, I want 8 points. And let's just be honest, I was the only one that hit that blue dot. Just saying. Yes. I let that go. That baby just went and right into the blue dot. So,
But anyways,
it was
we
so
had a
cool.
fabulous time.
Yes.
The night before we went to not. When was it that did we talk about going into Boston for our anniversary? No, we didn't, right?
No.
So we went into Boston because we celebrated 33 years. our 33-year anniversary. And yes, I know you're thinking like, oh my God, you guys look so young. Thank you. We do. But it's been 33 years since we met in Boston. So we visited the place where I almost lost my life when Steven pushed me so hard. He dropped me. I almost fell unconscious. And then, of course, what would I do? He became my husband, and partner in life. So that's quite an accurate response. And then we spent some time there, and you did a reading with the bartender, Randy.
Shout out to Randy, right?
Randy and Crow. We gotta do a shout out to both of them. And then we went to Mistral in Boston, and Nicholas and Evan took incredible care. And what was the most outstanding part of that evening, Stephen?
Oh my God, the coolest part of that. And Mistral is like really next door to Club Cafe. So it was just a little walk. It was beautiful. I opened the menu, and on the top of the menu said, Happy 33rd anniversary.
Yeah.
How cool is that? What restaurants do that, right?
And by the way, you know what, Stephen? When he opened it, he looked at me, and I kid you not, people, he said, oh my God, they're celebrating 33 years of something here. I'm just looking at him like, Steven.
Well, listen, in my defense, that is the first time for both of us. And we've been to a lot of beautiful high-end restaurants.
True.
Not just in Massachusetts, but around the world, right? No one has ever done that. And we've been there for anniversaries. No one has ever put on a menu. And in my defense, on our 25th anniversary, you and I went to Club Cafe for not only drinks, but we had dinner there that night. And they were celebrating their 25th anniversary of a DJ who started, and all over the restaurant, remember this, Helix, was 25 years. So it was kind of a cool thing, like, oh my God, they're celebrating something 25, and so are we. And that's where my head was. Like, I wasn't expecting a menu.
Oh my God, they're celebrating 33 years of something.
Exactly. And but very quickly we figured it out, and the server Evan was so cool and so cute, and make sure you take that, which of course I did.
Of course.
Yes,
no, it was an extraordinary experience. So shout out to Evan and to Nicholas also. And this weekend we're gonna be busy. We're gonna be busy with Holly, with Morgan. We have plans to go into Boston to see a comedian, which is exciting.
Yes,
and we have VIP seating, which is really exciting. Anytime we get anything VIP, I'm in. It's like it has my name all over it, and I know that applies to you as well. And
are you drinking something?
What?
You?
What?
I'm asking you. Are you drinking something?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
of course.
because
I already told you. You gotta, whatever you hear in the background, it's just you and I. That's already been explained. So, but I am not. Nevertheless,
I'm just making sure. I just heard, unless I'm talking to dead people, someone pick up something, drink it, put it down, and if it wasn't you, it wasn't me. Maybe it is a dead person. I don't know.
Maybe somebody
just
trying to connect with you. But you know what? What I'm hearing is our producer saying it is time to take a break for commercial. So let's do that. We're going to break for commercial, and when we come back, we're going to talk about, have you ever been introduced to yourself? Stick around. We'll be right back. Dave, the volume is so low, we cannot hear.
Did you see?
And hello, everyone. Welcome back to Get a Grip with Coach Elix. I am your host, Coach Elix, and with me, my amazing co-host,
Stephen the Medium.
Stephen the Medium is in the house. And today we have a simple yet very powerful question for all of you. Have you ever been introduced to yourself? That's a quite a thought-provoking question. And what I mean by that is not that version of yourself that is shaped by others' expectations or the version that your parents or teachers or anyone else in your life told you to be, but rather that authentic version of your true self. Because, you know, one of the things I have recently said in one of my videos is that many of us have been living from identities that we have learned, we've adopted early in life, and we become those identities. But the question is that really who we are? So, Stephen, why is this an important question that all of us should be asking ourselves? Have we ever been introduced to our true selves?
Well, let me just start with this. A couple of years ago, I think it was maybe 2021. I think it was going from 2020 with COVID into 2021. I think I could be wrong year-wise, but I did a presentation, if you will. If you go to my website on Stephen the Medium, I believe it's still there that you can download it. And it was actually that. It was like being introduced to yourself, because in one of the things, and honestly, it's been a couple of years, so I don't remember the specifics of it, but one of the things I remember using to sort of drive this point home and answering your question of why is this important is I use the analogy of a mothership. Like, imagine when you're born, you come here, and a big mothership represents your soul, right? You're born, you come out, you're crying, you're a little baby, and just imagine that there's this giant boat that represents your soul. And as the days progress and the years progress, there's the little dinghies, the little boats that are part of the big ship, and they start being dropped into the water, and they start floating by themselves. But the point of the little dinghies, because what that represents is we're learning things, right? As we go on, we're supposed to be. That's what we're here for, our meanings and all of that. Mm-hmm. But those little dinghies, many times, for usually the majority of us, those little dinghies start moving further and further away from the mothership, which is your soul. It's your authentic place, your authentic being. And then the little dinghies just completely go a hard right or a hard left, in the ocean, and they just completely separate and take, a big distance from the mothership. And that's the problem, is because you're so far away from the base of you, the authentic part of you. Imagine that little dinghy is a little dinghy, right? So it's going to hit waves and rough water, and it could be damaged and all of that. And that doesn't represent this beautiful big mothership that is just going straight down the path you're supposed to be going. And that little dinghy is starting to go into a place that is not the authentic self. It's not floating right next to or traveling right next to the mothership. There should be a little flexibility because you're learning, so you should be like these. You should have many dinghies all over the place, but they should relatively be kind of always parallel, and always you can see that mothership. And most of us don't do that, and when that happens, we just completely move away from our souls and mothership. And that's where those, as you just mentioned, Elix, those beliefs that are not really us anymore just start taking hold, and you start living a very inauthentic life, and you forget who you are, or you never realize who you are because you're so far away from your soul.
Now, when you talk, Stephen, because I was sort of envisioning that metaphor about the waves, the rough water, the rocks, that those, as you call it, the little dinghies experience, right? As they
Right.
separate from the mothership. Is that, could we say, some of those waves or rough waters or rocks are messages that we receive from our family, from, our childhood? Could that be also those experiences that we had in school that were, some were positive, some were not? Could it be some of the cultural expectations that we've been taught to accept, how we are culturally, could also be those moments that we may have felt, seen or unseen, right? Are those the waves? Are those rough waters or rocks that we experience in life that cause that little dinging to separate from the mothership?
No, I mean that's not what causes the little dinghy to separate from the mothership. The
Well, not
dinghies,
separate, but to pull further away. That's what I meant.
well, yeah, I mean it's like a snowball effect. Listen,
Yeah.
if you've got, if you're, those little dinghies are all part, they're all branches of your soul, right? All branches of your the mothership, if you will, like I said, your authentic self. So the mothership now sees a storm coming and says, okay, to all the dinghies that are close and that your soul can reach out to, because your soul can see them, and said, everybody, there's a storm coming, come in. All the little dinghies, if you're doing this right, all will come in to the side of the ship. They will, attach themselves, with ropes and whatnot, to be right, so they're connected to mothership. So everything that's going on in that storm, you never leave your authentic self. So you're not exposed to things you're not supposed to be exposed to. With people you're not supposed to be exposed to. You are right there. Now, does that always happen? Or no, not at all. I mean, that's life, right? This is what we do. It just happens to all of us. But when you start detouring a little bit further and further away, you just may catch that one little, say, fish, or you may look at and say, oh my God, it looks like there's an island. That